5 p.m. on a dreary Friday, December 5th, 1882. The sun sets. Kate Chopin, in a fashionably flounced red dress, sits at a claw-footed parlor table and jots in her book. The cloth-bound journal is thick with scribbled pages and wear. She sits back, adjusts a high-heeled riding boot, chews on an unlit handmade Havana cigar. The sound ends. She looks out the window, then hides her manuscript inside a slant-top secretary desk and locks it. A noise below. Kate goes downstairs to the storage area. Albert Sampite, a wealthy...
Can I get you something?
Just company. I look for you in town. Good you weren't in that.
I've got to get ready for...
You look ready.
Oscar's homecoming.
He invited me over.
Thought I'd get some ribbons for my hair, some lip balm.
Put rouge on in front of me. I'll be a rapt audience.
She bristles and turns back to go upstairs. Albert hands her a list.
I bunched your books, tabulated the hard cash payable.
The cotton season has ended. We don't need volunteers.
Albert points
Your
to a pile
inventory
of containers.
is low. I had a shipment coming, so I added on seeds, fabrics. You've got a general store. It should carry general merchandise.
Last week it was harnesses.
It'll put a few zeros in the books.
The week before, boots, saddles.
I know with women, you have to feel right to accept money. Men were excessive.
Oscar is unaware of the inventory you've supplied.
Good. I like the lightning bolts that flash in my brain when I spoil you. It makes me feel I have a purpose. And some lagniappe. Money is the last bastion of sovereignty in this world.
Please remove your hand. You have beautiful hands.
Kate put a pile in fabric.
Your wife won't pick up the black taffeta she ordered, so...
I don't see her. I live in the carriage house.
He holds the black fabric up next to Kate and touches her neck. She moves to the stair.
Gloomy fabric, next to red. Widow's weeds are all she wears.
Do you talk?
Infrequently. I put up with hopeless conversations so I can visit the children. I let her expound for 5 minutes, and then I talk about something she can't relate to.
Why'd you marry her?
For a baby that later died, and 2 that didn't. A high need for freedom. When my little girl passed, I wouldn't let go of the dead thing. I got off my horse, crawled out on my land, and for hours and wept. Neighbor came along and thought I was dead. I still feel guilty I can't love her.
She's agreed to the divorce?
If I give her everything, I want the house, its contents, and all the money you've got. That's what she said. Take them, I replied. It's like she's got so much there's nothing left. False gods. I'm just protecting the children. When I threatened to claim my half, she set fire to the carriage house.
I heard about that.
Objects were never designed to replace the real anchors of life.
And what are they?
Friends like you.
Upstairs at the Chopin parlor, Oscar Chopin sneaks in with several bags, pale and sickly. He looks about ornately embellished interiors, his wedding on the parlor table. He spots the key, opens the door, sees Kate's manuscript, which we've seen before.
I'm happier about the divorce than I was about the marriage. What religion forbids divorce? If people are miserable and want to kill each other, we should torture spouses for the church? I've stayed married for 2,000 years. Lived with a woman blaming me for our dead children. She lost 4 of 6.
How did you get over it?
Never get over it. You get used to it. I spent much time denying, clawing my way to sanity. Gave up warmth and companionship. Became a cowboy on the range, bucking and fighting. I rationalized coldness till it felt right to me. I work 18-hour days, ride late into the night. I love my children, but I can't stay with her for them. Hour by hour, a part of me dies.
You don't feel anything?
I deal without. The servants say when I leave, Loca hums and sings.
Opening a box, Kate takes out some ribbons.
But what do you want for your life?
Selfish. When you're selfish, you're true to yourself.
Is that all you want?
No. I want to be able to touch and hold someone. You've been in my dreams. The contents are blurry, but you're very real. You don't understand the rules, but I do. I don't like shabby women. I'm embarrassed to be with them. It's the whole woman that's seductive. The way she moves, handles herself, and not just the body. It's what's underneath, too. The soul. Now that Oscar's suddenly home, I needed to get to you.
You've gotten used to working with me.
Right. There's a familiarity that comes from... I may go to Colorado to buy land.
And leave us? Stranded? You never mentioned this before. For the first time since Oscar's malaria, I haven't had to worry. You took charge and handled problems at the store. I felt I had a partner. I even started to be able to write daily, seriously. Something I've never had the support to do before. Nothing's been published, but no, you can't leave now. I need your help. Oscar needs your company.
Isn't he cured?
Not completely.
Oscar is reading the journal. At the sound of someone approaching, Oscar jolts, stuffs the manuscript in his secretary. Kate Johnson, happy to see Oscar.
Oscar! You're home early.
I lose my life being punctual when everyone else is tardy.
Am I late?
I like your dress.
Let me take a look at you. You see, so much better. You put on weight.
For cocktails, I only want white oysters, white grapes, and champagne. And then we'll kiss the bed. Albert, you always dress so well when others dress so poorly.
A get well gift.
My pomegranate dazzle, cocktails, candy rocks, chocolate orange peels. Most millionaires used to be Louisiana planters. Now you're one of a few.
Albert's the old style. of Louisiana would let me comfort you.
Very Clicquot. A French monk discovered this, so it's bound to lift the spirits.
Good. I'm only befriending people who are fun or who I can make money with.
My doctor told me I could have 3 drinks a day. That's down from 8. Kate, get some glasses.
Oscar, dear,
Hmm?
no talk of the cotton business, please.
So, how are you feeling?
Fine. At the hospital, I did a lot of thinking. Kate says things are improving. She misses the city. I'd like to agent your cotton again in New Orleans. I want to agent cotton, not harvest it.
I now use Eastern traders. Haven't you read the paper? No one's shipping out of New Orleans. They're using the railroads.
But we could join the new cotton exchange, get a lead on... And my store here is doing well.
Says who? Neighbors now buy on bad credit. I closed my store. You're running out of staples yourself because your overseer is lax.
I won't have my plantation run by hatchet men.
Look, I don't like to give unsolicited advice, but there's a floating population of overseers offering fine services for low rates.
Kate enters with a silver platter of hors d'oeuvres.
White grapes, oysters, and bruschettes.
How wonderful.
Opens up.
As I was telling Oscar, I volunteered my services to reckon your accounts.
Why?
You wrote to assure the field hands.
Were properly fed,
Albert heeded your letter.
inspected workers' cabins, tools.
Took inventory of bills.
And the good news is?
Not so good. You have more and more debts. What kind of business is this?
Well, it's the cotton business most people are in now, isn't it?
But not Albert. He pays field hands a pittance, drives them, then fires them without pay, hires more for less. 10-year-olds, pregnant women housed in dirty huts with cornmeal for hunger. Well, I can't let my workers starve. It could be me.
It's going to be you.
Let's not discuss this now.
I want to know.
Men are going to auction because it's either debt or death.
You want me to sell? Leave Louisiana, everything I hold dear. This is my plantation, purchased by my father.
The land's been in Oscar's family for years.
You have to be strong enough to live simply. I'm driving a vehicle most people would call an eyesore. You feel by guarding these things, you're holding on to your life, but you're not. When you die, the world goes through your house like a tornado.
Albert's right. The planters who have survived have followed radical procedures.
Nice to see you're behind the curtain pulling the ropes.
We need a Teutonic approach.
Well, Kate?
Oscar, I love you, but if you don't know how to run a business, listen to someone who can.
Pardon. Kate has no idea of her place in the household. She's aggressive. Como un tigre. A tiger. Please, excuse us, Albert.
Should I wait outside?
Go home. I need to talk to you.
Oh, is that a call or a summons?
Kate takes out her cigar and lights up.
I like saying uncomfortable things. I never know how truthful I'm going to be.
Don't smoke.
I am not asking permission.
No one understands why I put up with you.
Oscar squares her arm, pulls away towards the circle of smoke.
Someday women won't have to carry cigars to have an audience for their thoughts.
I'm not the enemy. Je ne sais pas le diable. Brother visited me in the hospital. I should listen to him.
God-awful relatives conspiring against me.
Brother says his wife could teach you.
You're starting to contract.
We could visit their plantation, buildings, and...
Repeating the same phrases.
But only the men should talk finances.
Quoting your brother Lamy, the dullest planter in Louisiana.
Unfortunately, I don't have any relatives with intelligence. I did what you wanted. Took that god-awful cure, measured doses of quinine, hot mineral baths, treatments worse than malaria. I'm home, and I find you're hiding things from me.
He moves a key and opens the desk drawer.
And you are writing again. I should have guessed.
It's my only outlet. It's a diary, like...
The one on our honeymoon? The text feels similar, but the tone's different. All this intimate dialogue from our private conversations.
Why should you care?
Because you and the children are all I have. I was going to overlook. I know how isolated you feel. Still, what you say about our marriage is so demeaning.
Oscar opens the manuscript and reads.
An indescribable oppression filled her whole being with a vague anguish. She sat there, inwardly upbraiding her husband, lamenting at his folly and the path which they had taken. Oh, God, I feel sick to... Don't come near me. It's a journal about exile, not marriage. I think it should be legal for writers to write about their families. Well, as long as no one reads it.
Oh, I write to be heard, whether it's by millions or by one. Look at Harriet Beecher Stowe. First step is to put down your thoughts. The next is to get them read.
You're not writing about slavery. People will think you're nuts and lock you up. Some homecoming. I'll eat in the kitchen with the children.
Maybe all wives should wear black.
She picks up the journal, the secretary, and continues to write. Albert returns, high from a little whiskey, and eavesdrops. Amazed, he watched Kate write. She reads aloud from her work.
One day I'll pull myself together and determine what character of woman I am.
Why bother when I tell you who you are?
The dinner bell rings again. Kate's boys shout off stage. Time to eat, Papa!
Are you staying for dinner?
No, I'm not supposed to be here.
You forgot your book.
Don't join the long list of wives done in by their husbands. Close this plantation store. Diversify your crops. Pay your debts. But I could show you slowly and thoroughly.
And what would you want in return?
To be the one man you can count on. Don't you want your perspective to soften towards the world?
Perhaps. No.
Entre nous. Every time I give money away, I give my blood away. My whole life, if I wanted something, I had to earn it. Only a fine line separated me from death, and that was money. Money to me is freedom. You don't have money in America, you're dust.
All our overdue amounts are not in that ledger. Oscar forbids me to look at the others.
Kate gets a metal box from a heavily carved cabinet and brings it to Albert.
But I look anyway.
Good God. There are dozens of bills going back years.
I suggested we auction off all of our antiques.
Oscar returns with a plate of food. Albert leaves.
The roast is scorched, the vegetables poorly seasoned. Still, you should eat.
Don't mind a little scorched taste.
Shouldn't you be nursing? Sorry. I was nasty. My homecoming dinner, and when the children don't eat,
They're unhappy. They don't know how to tell you. They've no friends, no good teachers, no books. It's been 3 years. You said this move was temporary. Cloucheville. It's not even a town. It's a place. The children can't go past grade school here.
we can't live with your mother in St. Louis.
Oscar begins flipping and touching her.
I know. I get irritated.
What is happening to us here? We used to read, talk.
What? Darwin? Nietzsche? Cotton merchants don't want to read that we come from apes, or God is dead, we've been to his funeral.
My brain is shrinking while my body expands. I love being in your gorgeous world of children. Oscar, I don't want to lose us. Silver strand. Our connection.
You were the darling of my life. I'll check your fatness factor. You always put on weight at your waist first. Later I'll apologize to your face, your neck, your breasts.
Starts to undo her bodice.
If you don't like what I do, you can stop me quick.
Enough.
Oscar caresses her. She resists, then reluctantly in.
Don't write anymore. It's unsettling your beautiful face.
Try to understand.
There is a knock at the door. Kate, in a bohemian lavender robe, loosely fitted and belted at the waist, interrupts her writing and turns up the lamp. Albert calls.
Hey,
You can't come in now?
tried to ride home and couldn't make it far enough.
You're joking.
I exhaust myself, so when I put my feet up, I'll pass out.
Why are you roaming around?
Doing a final check of workers on your land. It may owe your accounts.
We cannot discuss accounts here now. I'm not dressed.
Tell my feet to leave, but they freeze, see? I'm trying to go.
Should I get a doctor?
I know enough medicine to treat minor complaints without help. I've waited till now to speak to you because I had to see for myself how much Oscar has improved. He's ready to take over, and he needs to. I'm not good unless I can boss a job through. Why aren't you sleeping?
Sometimes I stay up too late or get up too early.
He removes a handmade pewter flask.
Brandy?
No. If something bothers me, I write. I stay with it till I'm strong, or the quiet hushes me, or my body claims the night.
Don't have to apologize.
Writing is my way to grow. Sorry, I have this deep, dark, dying Contessa thing.
I know what it's like to be lonely. I wish I didn't. You don't have to feel embarrassed.
I don't require many people to make me happy. Just some. I'll wrap your ankle.
I'm forced to work, but here you can become isolated, totally.
No, I know. I fantasize a lot. I used to picture myself as an Indian goddess floating above the waterfall. And my lover would glide to me, and we would make love in the grass by the creek, and the birds would sing, and I would write all of these wonderful stories.
Inside your heart and mind, that's who you are.
I rarely speak like this. Usually, Oscar and I discuss his childhood, his work, his health problems.
What do you want to talk about?
The reasons for existence.
Our behaviors? When I was 20, I'd have admired you. I was a roamer. I rode around the country, a satchel on my back.
I'd have fallen for you, I bet.
I tripped because I was doing something I shouldn't. Coming
Back to my house. Yes.
I caused myself pain to dispel other thoughts, which
You're talking yourself out of your feelings?
I need to occupy my mind with something besides our friendship.
We meet every day at the store.
But not getting together.
In the summer, these issues will all be pushed aside.
Right. This wrap feels tight. Can you loosen it? That's better.
Oscar's up. The dog's awake.
Tell me about your writing.
Women don't get published.
Pshaw. Find out what the men did and do that.
I want to tell stories of the disenfranchised. And to be a Southern writer is already to be discounted, so.
Some people create better from a position of exile.
Well, I want to be read.
Then you will be. I've spent my life asking questions of successful people.
There are no guarantees.
Other than do your best, and most time it works.
I threaten men.
Good. You walk the earth with a voice that needs to be let out. Read something. I want to hear the words when you say them.
From the Awakening.
The effrontery in his eyes repelled the old vanishing.
To me. Let me get it all.
He stood close to her, and the effrontery in his eyes repelled the old vanishing self in her.
Go on.
He saw enough in her face to impel him to take her hand
That's first rate.
and hold it while he said his lingering good night.
Albert moves closer to her.
Don't stop.
The voices were not soothing that came to her. I don't like you. She went on in a high, excited tone, attempting to draw away, and I'll say, bent and pressed his lips upon her hand as if he wished nevermore to withdraw them.
Your words are romantic, human, and radical. I hear you, and I live in a realm where you're very alive. New thoughts blazing my mind. Kate. Like a woman who acts like a man, speaks astutely and powerfully, and inhabits her name. Yours comes from Hecate, the goddess of magic. Look at me. I won't turn to stone.
Please remove your sweet, rough fingers.
Albert strokes Kate's cheek gently and leans over, too. They are a breath apart. His mouth to her lips, and he kisses her. There is a noise from the hallway, and suddenly a barking of dogs. Oscar comes into the room, clutching a vial of pills.
It'd be helpful to forget everything I saw and to re-enter. Maybe with my Bendango. He's a primitive hunter dog. Breed goes back to the Phoenicians. Well, that explains the boxes filled with merchandise.
I tripped, hurt my ankle, roaming your muddy fields.
Doing an inventory for...
The way you resonate creates a new harmonic.
It was late.
You walk around in your robe?
I was tired.
Where do you do it?
I will go check on the children.
Careful. I could bar you from this house.
I know. And you know it'll never happen again. You have had a fever and other inflammatory conditions. With your homecoming from the infirmary, I stayed awake for 2 days without sleeping. Last week it was like running through a corridor and everybody had a whip.
Earlier, I saw you rest your hand on his arm. I excused it as friendship.
want my way to be cloudy. Be gentle on me, and I will work faster. Be lucid about all.
Madness?
There are transgressions. This isn't paradise.
I'm becoming emotionally tipsy when things go radically wrong. Like seeing you here. That's radically wrong.
People fail.
I bought you that flask. I invited you, insisted you stay for dinner.
I was indifferent to the meal.
Till you saw my wife, the provocateur, studiously chatty, whimsical. Perhaps you also saw her riding the fields, bareback, her hair flying. The workers massing and admiring clumps. Later, over cups of wintry tea, you and she would chat. Sitting on the front porch just after dark, I suspect. There's something weirdly fetishistic about it.
Oscar walks to the secretary, removing paper, and scribbles a note.
I'm discontinuing your services.
I take working your plantation so seriously that sometimes I snarl. You can't fire a volunteer. I'm a typical planter. Ego as big as the sun. I'm obsessed with everything beautiful. Women, houses, land.
It's a very perceptual way of looking at lust.
Does your wife know how you got malaria? Frequenting swamp-infested whorehouses? Swearing nothing's wrong if you're protected and feel replenished, bragging that the absolute worst of sex was downright wonderful.
Quiet. I can only take so many bullets.
No one loves being Oscar Chopin more than Oscar Chopin.
You're a shark. Sharks have several rows of teeth. When a tooth in the front row falls out, a tooth behind it rotates forward to take its place. Fresh supply of teeth is always growing in the shark's jaw. I thought you were anointed. Insulated from failure. Now I know 90% of the time you don't have my best interest. At least you don't procrastinate. You don't jerk my chain. Kate's negative, even when she's not cheating. That's the difference between those people who can assess money and people who can't. Most of my friends are friendly, aspiring paupers. I have a low boiling point, but watch out. When I do get my health back and strike out, I kill.
Oscar hours to the door, no pain. Kate enters with toddies.
I'll be back. I love being outside. That's the Indian in me. I love to gather. Who wants to come, comes.
Kate awkwardly begins straightening the room. Oscar picks at a box of chocolates.
Austrian chocolates from your mother. Incredibly priced. She can't give anything without flaunting the cost.
I was wrong. I fell prey to kindness.
You should be nervous. You were caught in a lie. No one's mistreating you.
I need to be cherished for...
That's not what you want. You want to humiliate me. You don't wish to be a good wife and mother? Fine.
I've been a good one for 12 years. I may not be for 12 more.
Oscar picks up her manuscript and fiddles through it while she talks.
I don't know who I am. Mama wanted me to be a scholar, and now you desire a good wife and mother. I'm trying to perfect who I am at different stages through writing. I have to find my soul. Be a good mother, sister, spouse to myself.
There is nothing about me in this manuscript.
I rarely say everything I'm feeling. I leave parts out.
I'll say, or rather Albert, took her hand and held it while he said his lingering good night.
Oscar strikes out lines.
I start to feel like a barber. I'm doing a little trim.
Stop!
Why write if it offends?
To save my mind when I see through scratched pages, bleeding mosaics of my life, how little you value me.
I loved you.
When I was young and flirtatious, but you dislike the mature me.
Say every nasty thing you can.
He tosses the manuscript down. She leaves it, erased marks.
I haven't known what I wanted. I've been living in the confusion of others' needs for 12 years. I put aside my writing whenever a child cries, and children cry all the time. I hoped finally to get a life started, writing late, but started. But you've kept me pregnant. I didn't want all of those children. You know, last time I prayed God would spare the baby, but kill the mother.
What a foul comment!
You've kept us moving, Magazine to Coliseum Street to Louisiana Avenue.
Each time to a more prestigious address.
With less money.
Such was my devotion.
Too much emphasis is placed on longevity as a sign of a good marriage. I have to feel that you are heeding my needs.
You have maternal, wifely duties.
I don't feel like a woman. Personally, I am not gracious the first time around. It takes drafts for me to get to kindness. I want to be free, to be angry, to thrash around in the gore and still be a woman.
You have 6 children.
Darwin had 10, and he still created. If we move to St. Louis, Mama will pay for extra help for schools.
Your mother is a child thief. She wants to kidnap us so she can consume you and the children. We're not going to your mother's.
Well, we have to live off someone here or there.
She puts down the manuscript to get a cigar. Oscar swoops it up and heads for the door.
I need to study this manuscript. It's this writing that has you confused, and it'll worsen once she gets a hold of you. Not many women were the Brontes.
You think it's easy for me to close myself off? To believe my story matters because I'm telling it from a place of absolute passion? I am not going to hide my thoughts in diaries, letters, journals considered trivial, or use a male pseudonym.
Where did you get this delusion that if you wrote about your hurt, you'd be able to by telling your story, you're leaving out my truth. Now you're involved, Albert. He has a great heart. He's just got a lot of wolf in him. He's a solitary talker. He'll get drunk and brood about your debauchery all over town. I never laid a hand on you. In rural Louisiana, a man can beat his wife for nothing if he doesn't do too much damage. You're setting an example for the hens in this town. And I can't protect you. If you keep this up, you're going to be stoned and lynched.
Ay, qué coño.
There is a tremendous ruckus, a galloping of horses, screaming of men. Maria Normand Delouche enters with a bag of medicines, yelling at some men who are chasing her.
¡Ay, qué coño! ¡Déjalo solo! ¡Ay! ¡Ay, ay, ay! ¡Déjalo, chucho! ¡Ay, mi Piero!
If it isn't Maria,
I'm a
town
man.
whore. I'm not up to your blundering personality.
Well, I brought your quinine from the doctor.
Come in like an animal. You don't shut the door.
There is a cyclone of catastrophe out there. Arsonist from the White League playing with smoke. They're going to set something on fire if Kate does not, if she continues this.
Fair?
Ugh.
It's childish love. A love without consummation.
Take your children and leave.
I don't want those men to hurt her. I can hurt her, but if I go, she'll have no protection. I wish you had known Kate before. Our home was happy.
Mm-hmm. Well, try not to care too much.
I don't know how to function as a man who lives alone with meager belongings and bountiful fear.
Then be decisive.
I'm not indecisive. I've made too many mistakes to be that. You're not what I need. You're one of the evil clique. You start stabbing your way up. Her husband just died. He was only 24. Of course, you had to pretend you were sad, but inside you're saying yes. I'll never go back to whoring. Last time you painted me in such a black corner, all I could do was cut my way out the backside.
For the right money, I could scare some sense into Kate.
Do it.
He hands her money and exits. Maria exposes pain on bruises on her arm, coughs as Kate enters.
What's wrong?
Oh, look out the window. Vigilantes, they're surrounding the house.
There and there.
Oh, and over there. Keep near Oscar. Stay away from Albert.
What will they do?
All over town, men are loading guns. Albert is defying everybody. He's gambling, drinking, riding, stripped from the waist. You must stop seeing him, or the town will destroy you.
How do you know?
Well, I enjoyed time with him when I was married before you came.
You.
Ay, Dios mío, he ripped me open. But that did not stop my desire to have him. Here, let me read your tarot.
I don't have time.
Oh, just a short reading, huh? Okay. Think of Albert when you cut the cards. Cut with your left hand.
She lays down the cards.
Choose a card. And another. Oh, no. The card of ruin. Albert rides at night to stop plunging depression. He broods for days. Oh, and see that blindfolded man right there by the sea? Albert's sad because of the screaming woman there. She lost her mind. See? Ay, ay, ay. He beats his wife.
He's getting divorced.
His second wife. Here. Cut again.
She lays out the cards.
No marriage card. That's you. Solitaire. That means solace, but you've got the money, the success, the jealousy card. And oh no, the devil in flames. It's a death card, and it's coming soon.
Oscar's dying.
Portals, they're closing with Albert.
Kate crosses to her desk and packs her writing supplies.
You're so negative.
Albert likes his darks, and he's not going to give them up.
Wrap these toy soldiers.
If you're going to your mother's in St. Louis,
Metal men break so easily.
it better be without Albert.
I like riding bareback, climbing trees recklessly high.
Oscar won't let you bring the children.
What's the next step down from rural Louisiana? I don't know, but I'm not taking it. I can't make Oscar the man he was before I became myself.
But you said, for richer or for poorer.
I'm giving the world the best I've got.
For better or worse.
No one should stay in a bad marriage.
It is good to be surrounded by love.
Well, it is also good to be surrounded by yourself. It's not a matter of finding the right person. It's being the right person. I come from women who lived to their 90s when most women died in childbirth. Great-great-grandma got the first legal separation, built an empire on the river. Great-grandma killed a Yank who assaulted me. Mama married a tyrant to save her siblings from starvation. She claimed her widowhood because widows control their assets and wives don't. I've got to go pack my clothes now. Then I will walk through that vigilante group and I will get out.
Outside, the sound of horses' hooves and neighing.
I am off.
I treated those vigilantes to a round of Jack Daniels. Looks like temporarily they're gone.
Please go.
Your keys and ledgers. I don't have to work 16 hours a day anymore.
People disband.
You took the old French fort your papa gave from you.
Just at Christmas.
The infantry are missing.
Yes.
We used to fight over this red tin soldier, remember? I wanted him on the watchtower. You wanted him at the gate. Well, have a fantastic life.
We've had an expansion Of all these modifiers, can't just have a nice day. You have to have a fantastic day. I'd like a nice day.
I should have left before, but I hoped to salvage something.
What? 30-year friendship? My wife?
Don't be sarcastic.
Sarcasm. From the Greek to cut. What do you know about feelings?
Don't ask questions you wouldn't want the answers to.
I thought I was your most valuable friend. I have a penchant for summering. Get out.
I had hoped you had cooled down.
You took advantage of my illness so you could have the excitement of my wife.
Oscar gets the manuscript and reads.
Amid the dusky and tortuous outlines of flowers and foliage, there was her dear Alcée. Alcée? Albert? Albert? Alcée?
I am so grateful for the rain, which has freshened the room. Albert, don't leave without a word of adieu.
There was her dear Alcée. Alcée? Albert? Albert? Alcée?
It takes the manuscript and puts it on her neck.
My coat is somewhere.
My wife's a cuddler.
No, I'm not.
Oscar pinches her meanly.
See? She leans into my hand like she's waiting for my touch. Ah, she's crying.
I've a cold. But finding someone who reaches out to you when you are in need of kindness is special.
Oscar starts for her. Moving between them, Albert hands Oscar an envelope.
I wasn't sure I was going to give you this, but
What is it?
He opens the envelope.
Oh my. Your company paid my hospital.
Albert,
Albert financed my cure?
Kate didn't know. Most bills came to me.
Preposterous.
Where do you think the money came from? The birds? The sky?
The carpetbaggers, the underground. I didn't want to know. We'll make it up to you.
Are you grateful?
I want you bloody out of my house.
I'm exacting payment in January. $800 a month. I stepped out of bounds. Now I must step in.
Get my quinine, Kate. You put Albert up to this. You parasite. Leech.
Albert moves to Oscar. Just as Oscar starts to collapse, Albert helps him to sit.
I overreacted. It's the malaria. I need more hot baths, but we can't afford. Funny. I thought Kate's mother financed it. My cure, tight ass widow. How much do I owe you in all?
Let's talk after Christmas.
The note says $8,000, but I know. Oh my God, they're coming true. The dead, everywhere. You see them?
No.
I'm not dreaming. There he is. The Archbishop glowing like a golden triangle floating towards me.
Where?
Shh, there.
Are there others?
He's telling me he's slipping a gold sheath on my little finger.
No, it's just one of your nightmares.
Ah, no, they can't see well, but they can touch.
Sit back. You're shaking.
First, Kate. Now my wallet. Albert, please. Please help me, please. I'm losing my mind.
Oscar thrusts the note into his mouth.
Don't eat that. I'm cutting what you owe me in half. Repayment for...
I'm losing my senses. I won't accept it. I won't accept it.
I'm not given to sham. I do find your wife attractive. Goodbye. You owe me nothing.
When Oscar comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. When Oscar comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. La 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 la. La 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 la. We'll all be there when Oscar's come marching home. Kate! Come here, sweetheart.
Kate enters with brandy and quinine.
I should have gone on the stage. Enjoyed the fanfare. The curtain calls.
Should I call the doctor?
You kidding? I just earned $8,000.
Albert's gone.
Huh. He released the note. All his life, men have circled Albert for money, and I got it. Now Albert's gone. With all those vigilantes, you'll have to make love to me tonight. When Oscar comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. When Oscar comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah.
Why would he cancel the debt?
Maybe for you. Frenchmen are haunted by beautiful women. They eulogize them. Or maybe he saw my ghost dance I've become. He has this immigrant innocence, which makes him believe in marriage and its possibilities. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. I regret any pain I caused you by my perceived indifference.
Even harsh partnerships require consideration.
I love Kate because she is kind and very strong, because she likes chocolates, sitting by the lake, and displays the army fort I had as a boy. You know I love you. We were like cufflinks. First son would grab one, second son would grab the other. What do you want now?
My youth.
Kate and Oscar are now silhouetted behind the curtain as if in memory.
Guess what I'm wearing? You need to know what I'm wearing to speculate about what I'm thinking.
Oh, no time. The greatest collection of intellects are at the table since
Thomas Jefferson ate here alone. I bought 6 purses.
6 purses.
One is for my mother. We're sharing it, so technically it's for me.
Buy a dozen more. I got money. Kisses?
Careful! My dress is so tight that if I swallow a raisin, I'll pop. I like it best when we're naked.
The lights and the scene become realistic again. We are back in the present.
I love you.
Men say that when they've stopped. You loved me once, but you haven't loved anyone in a very long time. You're out of practice.
Oscar kisses Kate and sees her fingers are bare.
Where are your rings?
Kate pulls out her rings, tightly wrapped in a handkerchief. Oscar takes them, puts them in his shirt pocket, and adds his to the others.
Let's pawn them. At least, I'm going to make it easier. Lamy will take you to St. Louis every 3 months.
Are you serious?
Provided you
Anything?
stop writing. It's making you fantasize about other men. It's jiggling things around in your head that you feel you don't have with me. You write about fictitious romance, and you imagine there are unfulfilled needs here.
Kate puts a cigar in her mouth. Oscar grabs the manuscript.
She felt no interest in anything about her. The street, the children, her husband. Nice. You want listeners for... The flowers growing there under her eyes were all part and parcel of an alien world, which had suddenly become antagonistic.
That's how I view it.
Thank God women don't get published.
But I will. I'll change my name, produce my own books if necessary. Would Amadine Aurore Lucille Baron have been published had she not become
George Sand?
Moved to Paris and befriended Balzac, Liszt, and...
Frederick Chopin, I know.
Would George Eliot have been heard as anyone but Marianne Evans?
You don't have her talent.
I've been writing more lately, trying to make sense of the palpitations I feel. In my dreams, I'm running barefoot down familiar streets, trying to get home.
Put your shoes on.
I'm falling down a well. We should rip off these petticoats and heels that encourage us to be dependent.
Don't scream.
When I talk politely, no one listens. I don't know how long I can stay partnered with my pencil talking to a bird. I didn't realize how profoundly smart women were hated. When I was a girl, and later when pregnant, I was encouraged to write, read, reflect.
Stop. If you know what's good for you.
First to win honors for mama, then to rest for the baby. But when I study for myself, I'm punished.
Because you torture others. She felt no interest in the street, the children, her husband. How can you write that?
You exhaust me. So you can enjoy your paper and brandy. One more baby, one more invoice, one more caller.
I can't think of one good thing you've done.
I have kept us from bankruptcy when you nursed your babies. You are a terrible father.
That's a bold-faced lie.
You squandered our money with false generosities. Albert's money's what's been saving us.
I'm supposed to enjoy this. I'll say. I'll strike lines out.
Grabs
I am
the
not
manuscript.
going to discard my talents.
Let me once you committed.
Lock my starving creative self in the basement to languish without water or bread. I will feed her like I did my children. Watch her grow strong and proud. So many women have walked the earth, this very spot, and their stories have not been told because we've been trained to contain ourselves. We are lovely, silent creatures. Hummingbirds who settle for pink sugar water. I have been born at the wrong time and in the wrong body.
I'm burning this.
No!
He throws the manuscript in the fireplace. She dives for it.
Get back!
He shoves her aside, lights a match, and burns the manuscript. Kate seizes a poker and swings at Oscar. They fight.
Oh no! I can't breathe.
A boy screams, "Mama! Mama!" Door slams. Boy off. Struggle. Sees his chest in severe pain and falls.
Oh my God. Oscar! Oscar! Wake up! Wake up! Talk to me! Mother of God! Oh no! Oh, how quickly we leave the earth!
Kate? Kate!
You can't come in. Oscar is barely cold.
I follow my feet, and they directed me here. You can't lock yourself up.
I can't find $75 to pay the mortician, so I'm in hiding.
Done.
You shouldn't have.
You look rough.
He peruses her diary.
May I?
Yes.
She let her hand lie listlessly, as though her thoughts were elsewhere.
I'm not in my right mind. I wake after 3 hours, creditors pounding at
It'll take a few months
relatives grabbing everything to sell.
for the shock to settle in.
You saw the obituary. A description is given of Oscar so you can experience him slightly alive.
I'll remove these wreaths.
Takes down one of Oscar's funeral wreaths.
Black ribbon, it's such a oxymoron.
Flowers are wilting.
They're changing colors. If it's too warm, 4 o'clocks reflect the sunlight. Too cold, they absorb it.
They've taken the children?
Temporarily. Maybe forever. Lamy claims I drove Oscar to suicide. The man's...
An ass.
My children hate me.
I'm sorry I can't comfort you properly.
Please, go.
You need someone to hold you.
Get out.
I'm not leaving when you're in pain.
I have got to write these pawn shops.
You didn't kill Oscar.
See what heirlooms they will buy.
Here's a copy of his will and the extensive autopsy his relatives demanded. Oscar had 40 grains of quinine in his bloodstream, 4 times the maximum dosage prescribed. He left his power of attorney to his brother, his body to science, and his debts to you.
Kate reads the will.
All our assets mortgaged. $12,000 cash debt. 7 years taxes. God.
Sit back. Breathe. Have you eaten anything?
No! There's no money.
I've decided to play the Southern gentleman. Here's some fresh bread.
I must prioritize these bills.
Chicken soup heals all.
With jam.
Your mother's coming?
No. Her health is failing. She can't travel. I won't leave the children here or let all foreclose.
Let me take care of you.
Being taken care of is a temporary experience.
Outside, a dove coos.
Morning dove. Do you hear? I'm afraid to admit this because I don't feel there is...
I trust you. Completely. Actually, I always have from the first. But Oscar's debts are mine.
Albert reads slowly from the Awakening.
She sat once more upon the sofa beside Alcée. He had not stirred. She put her arms about his neck. Goodbye, my sweet Alcée. Tell me goodbye. He kissed her with a degree of passion which had not before entered into his caress, and strained her to him. Alcée is me, yes?
Yes.
Albert kisses slowly, then passionately. Maria enters, a fortune teller, carrying a picnic basket.
I'm not here.
Speak up.
I have no voice. You were my voice. Oh, Albert. A rush of memory raced from my feet to my heart as soon as you appeared. Remember that day we ended up throwing off our clothes and jumping into the surf? When you left, I cried for 2 years without stopping. You weren't my boyfriend. You were a part of my soul.
Vampire, don't mess with me.
Fine. I'll depower myself. I'll take out my teeth. I have an unbelievable gift of being mute. I brought you daffodils. They're so yellow. When you hold them, you see spring. I understand your limitations.
She squeezes his cheek.
I don't expect you to be thoughtful.
Let's get this straight. This is my body, not yours.
I know, I'm obnoxious. I know. Afterwards, you'll love it. I went shopping.
She handed him 2 bottles of wine.
I knew there was
What?
going to be a surprise.
Well, there's one for you and one for me. Adulterers have to drink more. We're always uncertain. We have to have a drink in our hand. I'm going to feed you 1 good cake a year and tell your fortune.
She takes his hand.
I can read dreams. See my genie ring? Rub it. Come on, rub it. Oh, don't you dream.
I haven't had a nightmare since I moved out. Kate helped me beat back the loneliness.
Well, you don't strike me as a person who'd let himself get too depressed.
I have my erratic moments.
You're dragging Kate down. Louisiana law forbids marriage between adulterers.
Doesn't care about marriage.
You should. There are 2 ways of doing everything. Adultery is the wrong way. To marry Kate, you would have to leave Cloucherville forever.
I'll cut people out of my life before I cut Louisiana. I own half the state. How do you like being a widow?
I'm alive. I'm well, and I'm meaner. I also know how to manage money. Oh, we both need a change.
I put my foot out the door, the wind may blow me away.
I doubt it. You are a traveler. You know all the tricks to get out of town. Want to visit Colorado? Well, that's as close to a yes as I'm going to get.
Are you free?
Well,
If not, how much do you cost?
Kate is glamorously dressed in lavender, writing. 4 o'clock flowers decorate the room. Somewhere, Oscar paints in a sandbox. Sand falls in from the sky.
It's wonderful up here, Kate. They keep pouring sand on top because there's a leak in the bottom. Even if the box is broken, it doesn't negate the spout.
Where are you?
Most things are unanswered, so I'm back here with the Bohemians. They rival each other in goodness. It's all blue here, like one endless sky. Been painting all day. I don't squeeze in, I take 2 spots. We are all so artistically motivated. I'll be the last person in the sandbox, just like the captain doesn't desert the ship. Today's my day. It's been a kind of secret day that only I can understand. The goodbyes from Earth are coming at me hard, fast. You're the last. I'm setting you free, Kate. Marry whomever you want. I want you to be happy. Never walk away from your cloud. Albert has an unbelievable gift of being reversible, but if you want him, let him appear. If you go looking for him, you'll never find him.
How can I reach you?
Bells toll in the distance.
Feed your soul. Nurture yourself.
The chimes fade into dinner bells. Kate awakens. Take us riding, Uncle Albert, please!
Get your baths, boys. Uncle Albert is tired.
Now I'm a relative?
He looks at the table.
What's all this?
Our 6-month anniversary?
It's next week.
No. Today.
You shouldn't have gone to so much trouble. Listen, I've got good news. You've been officially named Trudixt of your children.
Wonderful. Custody. At last.
You can take them wherever you want. St. Louis, New Orleans, New York. How about a celebratory drink?
Well, I suppose I should have something.
Albert notices some papers on the bar.
What's this?
I held an auction. Sold everything that I could spare.
But you're running the plantation so skillfully.
I might be admired if I wasn't seeing someone else's husband.
Kate,
Yes. Albert?
this is Louisiana. Adulterers cannot legally marry here.
Don't use that word.
I suppose we could pretend.
And no one would believe that we had never had.
What if I swore we hadn't?
Why would you lie?
It's the law.
Let's take a cottage on the Baltic Sea.
I can't leave Louisiana.
Elope to Paris. I wouldn't take advantage.
You'd be the first woman who hasn't.
Let's tell the world that we're a pair.
I can't. When I think of a genuine relationship with a woman who accepts me, I shudder. I've thought this through many a black night. I've been alone, married for a long time. Uncertainty may be what attracts you.
I like who I am when I'm with you.
That scares me. I need to be honest.
Can't this wait till after supper? Open your gifts.
What you like about me has a dark side. But you'll grow to be stronger from these pain bursts.
Let's hold each other, not talk.
I can't step up to the bar. I can't marry you.
I never asked you to.
But you will. You should. For your sons, at least. I stand before this huge cliff, and I'm going to Colorado.
Colorado. We'll go too.
I said I might need to see some land.
You can't leave now.
You're forbidding me?
I'm debt-free, but for how long?
I'll return.
If I thought that this trip was a dream come true, I would say hallelujah.
Back up. Say hallelujah. It's that important.
I thought your dream was with me.
It was. Is.
Go on. Leave, monster.
Hit me. Hurt me if you want. The truth hurts, but lies hurt worse. You acted with dignity. You deserve better.
I have probably thought of you 4 times for every once you have thought of me.
Not true.
People said you were a loner, fickle, violent.
Lies.
You don't get that reputation without some transgression.
I gave you my heart, at least to a point. Then you found a wall, one I set up.
No, you want to get back on the carousel. Go. Find some younger, simpler woman, no intellect, fair.
Maria says you do fine alone.
Oh, I made love with a man I hated so much I had to take a 4-hour bath.
You and I can continue to grow.
I told myself something good was coming, that you were that brave thing.
Part of me loves you deeply,
Whom
but a bigger part loves freedom more.
will I count on?
Aren't you most happy with your own creative world?
You disgrace me with your ambivalence.
I've someone else to spend my life with. I do admire your loyalty.
Oh, get out! I am too strong for your world where spinelessness triumphs.
You should go to St. Louis.
You can't pass a cat without stroking it.
Get the anger out.
Find some nitwit like Maria. It's Maria, isn't it? My God. She just drips with magnetism. She's got a little tiger in her, but a lot of pit bull.
She grabs a boot and cracks the floor.
Go on. Leave. Quick. Get out before I stop you. Have pity and never come back. No matter how I cry or beg, don't call. Again, have mercy on me. Just leave. Leave my sight.
What will you do?
I'll take a ride with God.
Kate turns away and Albert walks out.
Lord. He's gone. Really gone. I will never see his face. No, not today or tomorrow, or wake slow-eyed and touch his cheek, knowing that skin that goes all over his body. I will just tell myself bad things about him, his drinking. I'll fill my mind with cruelties, forget the sound of his voice, list in detail his flaws. And then maybe my eyes won't hurt. And I won't have to go back sadness.
She goes to the window.
Wind's picking up, violating the leaves. Clouds are turning brown as if grieving. It's best to get out. Get out. In a small town, there is no place that he hasn't been. I'll move in to my aloneness. Is this the price for being a writer? I'm in the hands of God, but I'm also in the hands of myself. The universe is lining up in a big way for that. Boys, get packed. We're moving. St. Louis. where Mama was a girl scholar.
Leaving for Grandma's?
You'll see great art. Go to school.
Hey, hooray!
And Mama's going to write and write. No one will stop her. And when she's tired, she'll write some more.
Don't go. Don't go. Oh, stay with me, he pleaded. Why should you go? Stay with me. Stay with me.
I shall come back as soon as I can. I shall find you here. She buried her face in his neck and said goodbye again. Her seductive voice, together with his great love for her, had enthralled his senses, had deprived him of every impulse but the longing to hold her and keep